Okay, I've been trying to procrastinate. Well, not trying. I've been procrastinating the making of this video for the longest time ever. But I feel that it's time to just make it and like get the purpose of it and like the significance of it into the world. Like just give it out there. Just like a quick disclosure and a disclaimer that most of this is actually facts. I did a bit of research, and also I will be giving some of my own personal like insights and like things that happened to me as a colored in South Africa. Okay, let's start this. Also, I want to say like this topic is a bit sensitive, yet it needs to be discussed because I face some things in my own community, not just like from like other groups in South Africa. So let's do this. Yay. Also, I forgot to add that these points that I'm talking about, especially when I talk about like the racial stereotypes and discrimination that I faced, is also from misconceptions that my friends have faced as coloreds. So just thank you to them. Thank you so much for answering when I asked you guys, like, if you have any misconceptions you have faced, any trials you have faced as a colored person. And also, there's this YouTube channel on YouTube that talk about being colored and like any trials and tribulations we face. So I will link their videos and their channel below, as well as this one guy on TikTok who made this video that talked about like being a colored and like the difficulties of it. So thank you everyone. I will link everything below. So I have my notes in front of me because my mind, like, it has it, but I just like want to get my points across in a orderly fashion. So let's do this. Please don't mind me if I keep on looking down to my notes. Yeah, sorry. So the term colored was legally defined as a racial classification in South Africa during the apartheid years. And a like quite normal misconception that we have is that in South Africa and in the colored community is that we are 50% white, 50% black, and there's no in between, which is actually false because like colored is a multiracial ethnic group, which means that like we have ancestry from various other places and populations such as East Asia, South Asia, Europe. We have ancestry from the Khoisan, Bantu tribes and many other places, but those are like a few that I just named. So it's not just a case of I am half white, I am half black, and that's it, because we have such a diverse background and complex history and complex ancestry that we don't all look the same, yet we are all classified as colored. Not just black and white, but colored meaning multiracial ethnicity. So that's the first thing. Some of the racial stereotypes and like discrimination that I faced as a colored girl, or just as a colored in my community, is that I am perceived as white, or like too white or like too dark. I don't know like if you know this. Well, I don't think I told you guys. I grew up in a predominantly Caucasian area. I went to an Afrikaans school most of my school years, except when I went to a more like colored school in my last few months of high school. And when I was in my primary school and my early years of high school, I was in a sorry I'm trying to focus. Okay, I am so sorry. I lost focus. Oh my word, I lost focus, and also my camera died, so yeah. Okay, so in my white Afrikaans schools, let's talk about the racial stereotypes that I faced there and just discrimination. So from the white students and like my white friends, not all of them, but like it's kind of like a microaggression that I would like sense from their side about colored people, or just like people of color in general, was that there's this misconception and like this thing that all colored people are loud, all of us are aggressive, all of us are rude and violent, and we are alcoholics and druggies and not to be trusted because we will literally stab you because we are quote unquote violent. And it's weird because like I think they got it from the media and like how colors are portrayed, whether it's like in film, in magazines, the newspaper, anywhere. So when they meet colors, they already have this idea that we are going to be loud, we are going to be aggressive, we are going to be violent. But when they meet someone, a colored, who is not, they categorize us as not real coloreds. And I remember this one time I was with my friends at Gold Reef City, and for some reason like I just like everything poured out. I was like, so this is what I'm facing. And my friend, she's a great friend, but she told me, and I assume she means it from a good place, that she doesn't see color, she doesn't see like my skin tone, because I am one of them. And I'm like, oh. Just thinking back, like I'm still in shock about it. That really disappointed me, because clearly I am not one of them. And secondly, if you don't see color, you don't see me, you don't see my struggles, you don't see the things that I face every single day, you don't understand what I'm going through if you don't see color, because you don't see me. So that was when I truly understood that like they either discriminate against me or they just don't see me and my problems. But like the in-between, very few people understand like the in-between, well, in my personal life. So yes, just this, like these assumptions that we are hurtful people, we will stab you if you don't give us money, we will like steal your money and go buy alcohol or something like that. It's just like this idea that media gives people about colors that is clearly wrong, because we are not like that. All of us are not like that. Okay. Something that I also face a lot is being too white. So Afrikaans school, I was too dark. With other people of color in my like own community, I am too white. So my mom and my dad, they are both from Cape Town. My mom from Lavender Hill and my dad from Mitchell's Plain. But my sister and I, we grew up in like Gauteng, Johannesburg, suburb there around. So whenever we visit family, like it used to happen a lot when I was younger, but it's quite chill now, is that I would be too white, or like I would speak too like decent. The correct word they use is like savor, but I don't know like what the English word is for savor, because my first language is Afrikaans. Ek praat Afrikaans en ek is vlot daarin. Dis my huistaal. That's Afrikaans. So when I see family and I just speak normally, they'd be like, oh my word, why do you speak like that? Why do you speak so white? Why do you sound so white? Why do you act so white? Then I'm like, I grew up in a white area, and like the main thing I would get from them is, I'm not colored enough. I am not this way enough. I'm not that way enough. I'm so sorry for this sun. Ooh, it's kind of bad. Okay, let me just move like this. Even like yesterday we had a family event, and we were like about to go, and one of my family friends like this older man. I was like greeting him. I'm like, bye. And my parents were like next to me as like we greeted them. And this guy, he's like, why do you talk so white? Try to sound colored. I'm like, I was trying not to lose my chill. And I think like my parents already like they know, because I kind of already told them like how I feel about being told I'm too white, or I'm like not colored enough, or not enough of anything for certain people. And I was talking English to him, and I'm like, what do you mean I sound too white? He's like, no, like, speak colored, talk more colored, be more colored. I'm like, so I stopped talking English and I talked to him in Afrikaans. He's like, wow, now you sound so white. And this part of me, like, I snapped in like a respectful way, because still like he's older than me, and like just like having respect in like a aggressive way, but not like I want to fight you, but in a way of I'm offended. Like, I hear it like almost every other day that I'm not colored enough, that I'm too white and stuff like that. So I told him, I'm like, is there a problem with me talking white? Is there a problem with me acting white? Is there a problem with me being too white? And I could see him being taken aback, and I'm like, yeah, now you can feel how it is. And this guy, he's like, I thought like your parents were brown, like colored. My dad like tried to step in, not like too much, but like a little bit. And then I popped off. I'm like, okay, I get you're trying to be funny, and I get you're trying to be all cute and stuff, but you are disrespecting my parents now, and that's what we're not gonna do. That is what we're not gonna do. So I was like, no, my parents are brown, as you can see. They are colored, as you can see. And what's it got to do with you if I act too white? And then this man was like, still nothing. He kept quiet. And then he just like made this like lame joke, like, oh, ha 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 ha. And I walked away. That was a long story, but basically getting to it is that as a colored person, in my situation where I grew up around white people a lot, I grew up in a predominantly white area, I usually get from the colored community that I am too white. Also, when I went to my second school in high school, my predominantly colored school, I wouldn't know like certain slang, or like certain types of music, or like certain like even things like styling. They'd be like, yo, Erin, yeah, you're so wet, yo. And I'd be like, okay. I thought I'd be able to fit in more, because I am now in an area, like I'm more like in an environment where I have colored people around me, so I wouldn't have to walk on eggshells around them. I can just be myself. But when I was myself, I was too white. But when I was myself around school, like Afrikaans school, I was too dark. So that is something that I faced a lot in my school, and still up to today, up to literally yesterday. But I want to say is that like not all of us are the same, because like you get Cape Town coloreds, and you get coloreds from Limpopo, you get coloreds from Gauteng, you get coloreds from everywhere in South Africa, and we all grew up in our like own different ways. So by some people being like, you are not a real colored, this lighting is so bad, I'm so sorry everyone. So by some people being like, you're not a real colored, it's quite hurtful to say. And I do feel like we have our own ways of doing things. So by just the notion of saying that isn't what a real colored would do, that isn't how a real colored would act, that isn't what a real colored would say, is just creating more division rather than like uniting us and like coming together as like one group, coming together as people who respect each other. Since we are so different, we might as well just like find like unity in it, you know, finding unity in diversity. But yeah, that is the video, everyone. I hope you guys found it. Huh? I hope you guys found some sorts of just like clarity in it, or like I can't think of the right word now, but just don't have misconceptions about people, and like it goes to every single other person. But yeah, that is assumptions and personal stories that I have as my life as a colored. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am so sorry for the bad lighting. I am trying to there we go. I'm trying to like I filmed this outside, hence the reason it looks like this. But that is it. Tot ziens, allemaal.